Truth, lies, shenanigans.
All right, Jose, you're up next. Now, you caught the Republicans overtly using Nazi symbols. Is this truth, lies, or is this shenanigans? Muted.
We're going to say it's absolutely shenanigans at play. So it was the CPAC that just happened this past weekend, which is the Conservative Political Action Conference. It was held at the Hyatt Regency in Orlando. Now, there's a lot of he said, she said at this point between CPAC and the Hyatt, excuse me, about who
Yeah, the hotel.
basically let this go. But from what I read is CPAC organized were working with the Hyatt. This has been going on weeks and months. The weekend is here, and then someone miraculously notices that the stage resembles what they call an Ophala ruin, which is date back hundreds of years and was adopted by the Nazis as part of their attempt to reconstruct a mythic Aryan past. And now it's since been incorporated by white supremacist groups in the United States and Europe, and just recently. So now people are saying, well, we've never noticed that this stage looked this way. Do you not think if you are designing, drawing something, it would have jumped out at you? Now I'm thinking it was somewhat done. I think they knew what they were doing. And to me, I'm asking the panel, do you think they knew what they were doing? Let's remember, this is CPAC. This Trump was the star, right? So what
Right.
say you?
And if you look at the, I'm showing on the screen a picture of a Nazi soldier wearing on his collar a rune or an image symbol, and just below it, we're looking at the stage, and it is exactly the same design as the stage, a Nazi rune. I mean, exactly. It's not even slightly changed or different in any way. It's the exact shape of the rune.
And I would like to add, that part of the design also, there was a lighting fixture in the exact same shape and design as the stage that was suspended above it. So double down on the construction.
So Gianni Storm, what do you think?
This was, I can see the conspiracy theorists having a field day with this, but this is definitely intentional. Even if it was, no, it was intentional. You have to think about it. These are like lawmakers, leaders of people that are governing societies. Like they know what is going on, especially the people production or whatever that's working the lighting or the setup and stuff. They know exactly what. So this was ritualistic, and I think that so ironic that Trump was, the star guest. So it's I don't know. It's a lot to untangle. I actually didn't even know that. Well, I know a little bit about the Nazis, but I didn't. It's not something that I like research for fun. So I
No.
think that this symbol it means something to them, and it would be interesting for us to know. If you guys know, let me know. But it'd be interesting to know like what that symbolizes in the scope of like power or like ruling, like the way they're going to like use their power or influence on society. So one, it is intentional, and two, what is the reason it's there for? Like why? For ritual, for
Yeah.
stirring up trouble because they knew people were going to. Sorry.
No, good.
No, just stirring up trouble. Like, what is the reason? Go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, there's a slight delay on your internet. I'm sorry about that. Go ahead, Robbie.
Yeah, so the Odal ruin that we're seeing, so it's Odal based off of Odin, was used by some really extreme divisions of the SS, some very fanatical divisions of the Nazi SS regime. So once I saw the image, I really couldn't unsee it. And during this conference, they also had a golden statue of Trump, which has been referred to as a golden calf, another false idol, if you will. So there was a lot of really weird symbolism and
Weird.
imagery that was used. Yeah. So the Nazi movement has a long history of appropriating
Crazy.
iconography from different cultures and perverting it to suit their ideology. And from that, a lot of white supremacist movements have latched on to these images as well. And it's a shame because the original images were meant to inspire hope, perseverance, eternity, life. And
Purity.
those
It
ideas,
is a
yeah,
symbol of purity. For if we go back to the Hinduism, it's a symbol of purity.
Well, they
But
stole it
it's
Oh,
yeah,
and
crazy.
redefined it.
the Nazi. That's what happened.
Yeah,
That's it. They
Appropriation.
inverted
they
it,
did
and
redefine.
that's it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, it seems fitting that a party that has aligned themselves with white supremacists would somehow find these icons in their midst. The politicians that are at the head of the show, Johnny, that are walking out onto stage, are not involved in the minutia, so can't hold them responsible. But any of the planners,
I don't
any of
know
the
about that,
staffers,
Robbie.
I'm going to say,
Do you
the
think
I
hell,
don't
everybody
if
know
knows?
I
about
were
that,
to go
Robbie.
to, if I were a guest speaker at this event and I were to walk out, hey, that stage, no, you can bet your ass I'd be hightailing out of there
Somebody,
because
somebody knew.
it's wrong.
That's
It's
true.
absolute.
Take part in it.
They have a choice. They embraced it.
I'm one for my brain loves symmetry, and when I look at it, it's a square platform with two extensions and many stages in front of curtains. But once you see the Odal ruin, you can't unsee it.
Unsee it. No.
And do I think it's coincidental? Perhaps, but it's just funny that it kind of aligns itself with the ideology that's been espoused for the last 4 years. The rise of Nazi
Yeah.
Germany, I've alluded to Hitler's rise to
Yeah.
power, and I've compared it to Trump and his fanatical followership. So this is just really fitting, and I hope that people will see it for what it is.
So,
It's probably
Oh, of
subliminal,
course.
what it
so
became.
it
Yeah,
could be subliminal, but I doubt it. I think
very
that's
often.
BS. I mean, yes, you're right. Could be subliminal because they got a lot of Nazis and stuff surrounding them. So, yes, one of the Nazis, one of the white supremacists that are part of their group, um, or putting this together, probably had some type of, or they've seen it somewhere, or it was in there wherever they were, wherever their groups are. Somebody showed this to them, or someone designed it specifically for this
Mm,
to make a statement to those people that support Trump.
yeah.
Because we know his primary supporters are the white supremacist groups. Those are his loudest supporters. The
Absolutely.
loudest supporters. So for us to kind of, I mean, it's not hard to put two and two together and come up with four. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah, it's possible that, 1 + 3 + 1 + 1 -6 and all these other things. Yes. And eventually you get to four. But this is pretty direct and straightforward. It's very clear. We know the people he surrounds himself with. We know the people the GOP are courting, actively courting right now. Those are the people that they want to vote for them. So there's no doubt that this is some symbolism designed to directly towards those groups. In
This
my
is like
mind.
masonry. I might be wrong because
Yep.
I'm like I said, I'm still learning, guys. But like
Mhm.
I think that Masons use symbolism
Yeah.
um
Mhm.
as like a main
Mhm.
like their reasoning for everything. Like symbols are more important than text to them.
Yeah.
So this reminds me of Mason.
Yeah.
Was this their bat signal?
All right, Jose, we took all your time. Did you want to have any final comments? I know you
It was
did
good,
say what
yeah.
you thought, but any final thoughts on that?
No, we covered it all. I just thought, you know what? It's really interesting with all the chain of events, what's happening, and then you see this.
Yeah. All right, so we got Kevin Thaxton, but they have Black and Latinx work. Get GTFOH. All right. Lizzie Ender says all these events are well researched. They know that what these things symbolize. Notice they didn't have a dashiki up there. Okay. All right. Jackie Robinson says, based on the some of the speeches, these people are no longer the fringe. They and their fake golden calf mainstreamed white grievances. Absolutely. So I agree with that aspect. I really believe that someone knew what this was going on. So, all right, that's a great hot topic. Good one. All right, it's time for the next hot.